In this video, I go over strength, structure, state. So, muscular force, skeletal force, and then using the state, meaning mind power or intention power to, make contact with the person. So how do you actually understand, know, and feel the difference within your system, both done slowly, but also done fast as well, just against someone throwing a right hand. So strength, structure, state, for those of you who are looking to, master your internal power, this is a good one for you. I just wanted to play around with a movement, but with some principles within it, right? Because essentially, we're aiming at developing the state, right? Using the mind, the energy to the body so you can manifest maximum power. So we're going to take a look at that in the context of someone with a straight right hand towards you. So if Patrick's throwing like, maybe we'll go this side just so it's here. Yeah. So he's throwing a straight right hand. So he's the bad guy, he's throwing like a punch. And we're dealing with this type of movement, yeah? So what we're going to do is we're just going to play around with strength, structure, and state in this context. In the context of me making contact with him. Because what we're looking for essentially is that we don't fight against his limbs. We don't fight and put pressure on and tighten our bodies up, which is the normal human reaction, right? But we don't want to just be normal. We want to be great with our skill, right? So we're going to start off. Let's just say it's a late movement, right? He's already gotten this coming at me. So, and I'm bringing my hand up, yeah? My hand's coming up to defend against it, right? As I bring my hand up against it, what we're going to do is you're going to start off, we should already have a level of pointingness, yeah? And that's already going to help you with structure, right? But the first thing I want you to do is I want you to do it wrong, yeah? Wrong in the sense that you're consciously using force and going in the direction of more force in the activity of your system. So I'm going to bring the hand up slowly. He's just going to hold like a rigid statue, so I have like a human wooden dummy to play with, right? And then my objective is to get my hand towards his chin. Yeah, that's my target, but through his hand. So I'm not coming over the top, I'm trying to come through. So my elbow's taking a line here, my fist is taking a line here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually, so hold strong, I'm going to push with my muscle system and just feel, okay, how does that actually feel? So this is more of an analysis and experience exercise more than it is a technique, yeah? So I'm just going to feel, okay, how that feels. And you want to consciously notice which muscles are tightening up in my system, yeah? You can even fuck around with doing, side stances and just feel, okay, where is the force playing in your system? But ultimately, I'd like you to keep your toes and knees pointed to their center. Then the next part is structure, right? The way we activate our structure is centering and sensing, right? So I softly draw up and get my focus in my center. And from there, I sense my skeletal frame, yeah? So I center and I sense. And as I center and sense, I want you to take note of a couple of things. I want you to take note of the contact point first. Meaning, how does my body react at the contact point? Because that's usually the biggest problem for most people, is that when they meet the contact point, they press against it, as opposed to have a connection to the other person's center. So rather than thinking, okay, I'm reaching to his center, I make contact with his arm, yeah? Which will lead my body to fighting against the arm. So what am I saying here? Center, sense, and reach structurally towards his spine. And then you'll feel that you no longer have a tension activity happening. You have more of a releasing activity. So you're already moving towards the state when you use structure. Why? Because you have to use the mind intelligently to use structure. So you're already subconsciously using the state. Remember my master would say, first there's muscle force, then there's structural force, then there's the state, right? And that the structure was a necessary stage. The kind of hidden benefit is that if you are training your structure, which is very simple, people are like, what's the Wing Chun structure? It's just your skeleton. Simple as that, right? If I am centering and sensing my structure, then I'm already using the sensing of energy to get into my structure. So you're already using sensing to do so, right? So I center, I sense, and then I see the target. So there's another thing I want you to be aware of. The movement should be connected to his spine, yeah? The spine of the other person. So that's structure. First, I want you to press in that position and feel how it feels muscularly in your system. Then center, sense, notice the contact point, yeah? Notice what happens in your system. At that moment of contact, when you notice your body going zzz and going towards force, that's where you consciously go deeper into structure. So just by going deeper into structure, you already potentiate a release from the muscular system because you're not focused on the muscular system. You're focused on the structural system, right? Then lastly, the fun one, yeah, the best one. You go into the power plane. So the power plane is a culmination of 3 parts, actually a little bit more, but let's just say 3. So centering, yeah, get the good feeling there. So get the spirit in the center. Oh, it feels good. So you should start, when you've done this well, you'll feel that whenever I center, I get a good feeling. There's like a electricity, and you'll get there over time, but just practice. Center in your good feeling, yeah? As you've got that on, from here, between my feet, towards, and from my crown, I focus on this plane here. So then I maintain the power plane and I do the movement there, yeah? So I go power plane there, yeah? So we'll just use that as a fundamental. Yes, there is sensing and syncing, but the primary is the power plane, yeah? The primary is the power plane. I have that on, I can go slowly again and go, how does that feel? Yeah, and if I'm staying in the power plane, then what Patrick will feel is that he's destabilized instantly, and what you should feel is that there's very little direction of tense activity in your system. Meaning, even if you go very slowly through the movement, you'll notice that as activities awaken in your system, they are instantly dissolving out. So you'll notice, so as I'm going through, if I can go through very slowly and describe, okay, I'm noticing something in my hips, but if I stay in the power plane, it's gone now. Like it comes and goes, right? Because your system's constantly working to release force. So, in summary, first thing, it's a late stage defense/offense against a right cross. I bring my hand up to make contact. I mean, ultimately, yes, you'd have this on, but it's more of an exercise than it is a technique, let's say. Force, I press from the physical system, feel how that feels. Structure, I softly draw up and I think of I feel my structure, feel the contact point, how that feels, and then keep driving towards him. Then power plane, get the center feeling good, flowing it towards his center, and then move from there. Yeah? Get the idea? 1, 2, let's go. Let's just speed it up now. So same exercise, yeah? You've got the bad guy with left or right hand, so you can do like there's a hand here, come from the outside gate. I want you to just do it faster, yeah? I want you to consciously, yeah, so it's a hold stronger, yeah? And using strength, and what you want to do is just feel it in your system, yeah? What does it feel like when I use strength, okay? Now structure, I'm going to center, feel my structure, okay? Now I'm going to use my structure, right? Okay, good, there's a certain sensation. Now, state, yeah? And I just get the feeling, yeah? That's all. I just want you to speed it up. Simple as that. If you're thinking about practical parts of the actual exercise, like for example, where should I be hitting the arm? Where should my hand be going? You cover its line of attack. So its line is this, right? So if I hit through that line towards his chin, I'm covering the line of attack. You can see how, this is no longer going to hit me, right? So once again, just speeding it up here. Strength, structure, state, notice the difference in your system. It might not actually look that different, right? Because of the speed. But what I want you guys to be aware of is the difference in your feeling quality. What does it feel like in your system? Make sense? All right, 1, 2, let's go.